Hello there, greetings everybody. My name is Saeed. I am an online English language teacher, and this is another episode from the series of video lessons devoted to the vocabulary for the IELTS speaking section. Okay? And the topic of the lesson today is health. That's right, guys. One of the most important, if not the most important aspect of our lives. Okay, so health tends to be not the most popular, however, topic for the IELTS speaking section, but sometimes it may appear on the actual test speaking section of the test along with the topic of sports or fitness. So, well, one can say that health and fitness or sports, they kind of go by, like they're together in one set, all right? So keep that in mind. If you talk about sports, the examiner might want to ask you some questions about health as well. So we have already studied the vocabulary that is related to the topic of sports, so I think it will be wise enough to brush up on the previous lesson to refresh the vocabulary related to sports and try to make some combinations along with this video lessons material. Right? So we're going to the speaking part 1 style questions. And the first question that opens our lesson is, have you got a relation you are particularly proud of? Fond of. I would say proud of. Okay, fond of is also a good one. Have you got a relation you are particularly fond of? Cynthia, that's a female's name, she's responding, yeah, my granddad. He's 94 years old, but generally he is as fit as a fiddle. We're very close and see each other a lot. Whenever he goes down with a cold or is under the weather, I make a point of visiting him. Wow, 94-year-old and as fit as a fiddle. That's great. Question number 2. Do you do any sport? The guy named Jonas is telling his story. Yes, I'm keen on skateboarding, but I haven't done it for a while. I had a bad fall recently and pulled a muscle, and had a few cuts and bruises. But I'm on the mend, and I hope to be doing it again soon. Good for you, Jonas. Happy to hear that you are getting better. Question number 3. Is there anything you are particularly afraid of? And the guy named David is giving his answer. Well, there aren't many things that I can feel scared of. Well, there is one that comes to mind. The dentist. I hate going to the dentist. I only ever go if I have a toothache, so it usually means I have to have a filling or even have a tooth out. I really don't like it. Well, I think that a lot of people out there would adhere to David's opinion about dentists, or maybe just any doctors to that extent. Right. Okay. Well, guys, it was the speaking part 1. Now we shall move on to the speaking part 2 and to read the cue card. So here we go. Describe a time when you were ill. You should say when this time was, what your symptoms were, how long the illness lasted, and say how it affected your life at the time. As always, my friends, I'd like to remind you that you may, and probably you are better pause the video in this very moment, to allocate yourself 60 seconds to write out any thoughts that come to your mind regarding this question, and maybe a couple of more additional minutes to act out the answer to this question, just as if you are in the test room talking to a real examiner and taking your probably life-changing IELTS test. Okay? And we will not be doing this because we have got already the Band 9 answer, which you will see in a few moments. Here we go. Pierre, that's the French name. In French it sounds Pierre. He's giving his answer to this question. This is a tricky one really, as I'm usually quite healthy. I've never been seriously ill. Like everyone else, I sometimes get a few aches and pains or catch a cold. I can remember a few months ago I had to have time off work with a heavy cold. I had the usual symptoms: a blocked nose, sore throat. So it lasted quite a while, about 2 weeks. I think though I didn't have that much time off work. For a few days I remember feeling poorly, but I was over the worst of it after a few days and went back to work. I always find it's better to be active when you feel ill, as it keeps your mind off your symptoms. I think my family got a little fed up with me when I'm ill though. I tend to feel sorry for myself and lie on the sofa all day as if I'm at death's door. But as I said earlier, on this occasion it was nothing serious and didn't really cause me any problems. Did I write this answer while I was asleep or something? That sounds so much like me. Okay, wow, great answer, my friends. And I think vocabulary was also fantastic and quite useful and quite advanced. And now we shall move on to the speaking part 3. So part 3 style questions. Question number 1 from the part 3 questions series. What costs are involved when you are ill in your country? Anya, well, that's the shortened name for Anna in Russia. She says, well, people have to pay prescription charges, which can be quite expensive. But fortunately, general healthcare is free, unless you want to go private, of course. And then you can pay a fortune for your treatment. Okay, living in Russia, I definitely have to agree with Anya on this point. Next question. In your experience, are people too quick to take time off work when they are ill? Alicia, that's another girl's name, she says, yes, I've got friends who have a day off work if they wake up with a runny nose. And in most cases, they seem to make a speedy recovery after they have phoned in sick. Oh my god, so that's quite funny. Like, you get better in a few minutes after you called in sick and said, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling very well, I can't come to the office. Seriously, did I write these questions, these answers? Okay, let's keep reading. The final question, do women pay more attention to their health than men? Whoa, that's a good one. Svetlana, that's another Russian female's name, thinks the following way. I think so, yes. Women are more likely to see their GP for a checkup if they're concerned about something or feel a bit off color. Men tend to avoid facing up to any health problems they have. Okay. My dad always seems to have a very chesty cough, but refuses to go to make an appointment to see the doctor. Okay, guys, this was a very interesting, controversial little bit topic of health. And now we will review the vocabulary, okay? The definitions of the expressions that were used in this lesson. Okay, so aches and pains. That's minor pains that continue over a period of time. To be a bit off color means to feel a little ill, you know. To be at death's door, that's the very opposite of to be a bit off color. It means, it's a very informal, it's like to be very ill indeed. Okay? So it's like to be at the death's threshold, sometimes we can also say that. To be on the mend, that means to be recovering after an illness. Okay, that's a good one. To be over the worst, to have got through the most serious or uncomfortable stage of an illness. It means like you reach the peak of your bad condition, and then you gradually begin to feel better. To be under the weather, it is another informal phrase which means to not feel well. A blocked nose, that would be when the nose has excess fluid due to a cold. Well, fluid due to a cold. I would say, yeah, it's a very popular condition when a person has, a cold or flu, anything like this. To catch a cold means to get a cold, yes. A checkup, it's a physical examination by a doctor. A chesty cough, a cough caused by congestion around the lungs. Cuts and bruises, minor injuries. For example, when you're like riding a bicycle and you kind of accidentally fall down and you may get bruises or cuts, whatever. Some abrasions of skin. Now let's go to the next page. To feel poorly, that means to feel ill. As fit as a fiddle, that is the expression that stands for to be very healthy. To go down with a cold, it means to become ill. To go private, that is to choose to be treated by commercial healthcare rather than by services offered by the state. That's like a private clinics, private hospitals. GP, that's the abbreviation that stands for the general practitioner, a family doctor, a therapist. To have a filling stands for to have a tooth repaired or to have a dental stopping. So a dental stopping, it's when the dentist, the doctor, puts... I'm not a doctor by any way, so I might say this just like a 5-year-old kid, but it's like a stuffing. It's something that gets inside the cavea, like the hole in your tooth, to make it, like not have that hole. Okay, so that would be a dental stopping. Okay, to have a tooth out means to have a tooth removed. Okay, pulled out. A heavy cold, that stands for a bad cold. To make an appointment means to arrange a time to see the doctor. To make a speedy recovery means to recover quickly from an illness, to get better. To phone in sick means to call work to explain you won't be attending work due to illness. Prescription charges, money the patient pays for medicine authorized by a doctor. To pull a muscle means to strain a muscle. And we have final two phrases. A runny nose, that would be a nose that has liquid coming out of it. That, mucus thing. Sore throat, it's the inflammation that causes pain when swallowing. Usually, like, you may experience this when you have, again, a cold or maybe tonsillitis sometimes, yes. So, my friends, this is it. We are done with the vocabulary for the topic of health. Thank you so much for watching this great material. I hope you liked it and enjoyed it just as much as I have. And I will be very happy to see you in the next video episodes. As always, we have so much planned ahead, and a lot of new topics are coming on the way. And I will be very, very happy if you hit the like and subscribe button on my YouTube channel. And hopefully I will see you again in the next episodes. Have a great day, guys. Stay healthy and positive. And enjoy your IELTS preparation. Bye.